Hello and welcome to today's Family Chat with new student and family programs. We are the Sun Devil Family Association Scholars, here to talk about our experience at ASU.
Hi, my name is Fong. My major is computer science and I am a senior at ASU this year.
My name is Michaela. I am a junior, entering junior. I am from Colorado Springs, Colorado. I am studying sports journalism at the Walter Cronkite School and marketing and sales essentials at the W.P. Carey School of Business.
I'm Essar Mustafa. I'm actually from Tempe, Arizona, so very close to here. And I'm studying civil engineering. And yeah.
Well, why did you guys decide to attend to ASU?
I decided to go to ASU for college because I knew from my junior year of high school that I wanted to study journalism and make that into a career, and I could think of no better place to do it than the Walter Cronkite School. It's one of the best journalism schools in the nation, and I considered myself very lucky to be a student.
Yeah, I have a very similar way of attending ASU. I know that we have a very strong engineering program here at ASU, so I couldn't pass it up, and I also wanted to stay kind of close to home.
So then, what's your long-term career?
My long-term career goals, I would love to be a sports broadcaster or a sports analyst for the NFL Network or CBS Sports, Fox Sports, one of the big broadcasting national companies. I would also love to eventually start a foundation for young girls and women entering into male-dominant career fields. That way there's a network there for girls who can feel empowered and supported and valued. I think it's really important to support women.
Yeah, I would like to, use my degree to kind of travel the world and make a positive impact. I know we take a lot of things like streets and, water very, taken for granted. So I want to use what I've used from civil engineering and make an impact into the world.
Well, how do you know about the Sun Devil Family Association Scholarship?
I found out about the Sun Devil Family Association scholarship through the ASU scholarship portal. It's a portal that's accessible to every Sun Devil, and I highly recommend that every student checks it out or uses it. You can search over 1,000 scholarships available solely through ASU, and you can use filters to get your specific needs. And that portal seriously changed my life. I found so many scholarships that I didn't know about before, and I could apply for all of them in a really fast way. So definitely check out the scholarship portal. Parents, you can check it out too. It is a lifesaver.
Yeah, that was exactly what I did. Just apply to a bunch of scholarships. I totally forgot I even applied to the scholarship because I applied to so many, and I was really excited that I heard back from this scholarship.
Well, would you have been able to attend to ASU without the generosity of the Sun Devil Family Association parents?
So I remember the day that I found out I actually got this scholarship. I was in tears when I got the letter. I was actually not sure if I was able to attend a 4-year university for my higher education. I was planning on going to community college for the first 2 years and then transferring. That way I could save some money and work as well to save up. And so when I received the letter saying that I had been awarded this scholarship, it was a life changer. It seriously was the determining factor on whether I could attend ASU or not. I would not be sitting here today without the generosity of the SDFA parents, and I could not thank donors enough for the support that they give, because they truly do make an impact on students' lives.
So we hear back from the scholarship. I heard back, in the summer. So I still was not sure how I was going to finish paying the rest of my tuition. I was actually planning to get a loan, so I was working through the paperwork to get a loan. But I just got this email that said I received the scholarship, which was amazing. And one of my goals is to finish college loan free. So
yeah, that's also my goal. I mean, that should be an ultimate goal for everyone.
Yeah,
every single student, debt free when they graduated. I mean, in my case, because I'm the first one who graduated high school and decided, hey, I'm gonna go straight to university. So it's it's really rough because my parents and my grandparents, they didn't trust me enough to like allow me to go to university because they simply can't afford paying for that. And I was like, I won't take out any loan because it's too scary for me. So like hearing something from this scholarship really make a big difference. Like now I'm starting to feel like I believe in myself more, and actually, you know, even though I applied for 20 scholarship and I can only heard 2 of them, that's still something that, you know, make a way for me to.
Yeah, paying for a higher education is not easy. I was raised in a single family household by my mother, and so I knew from the start that, you know, this wasn't going to be something easy, but it was definitely going to be something worth it. So when the SDFA awarded me this scholarship, like I said, like I just couldn't believe that people were so generous to really sponsor and believe in other people's education.
I mean, not only that, but like this scholarship really provide a lot of like opportunities in terms of like community service. We got to do a lot of fun community service to help the society in general. So like, what are some of the best memories of the community service you can have?
Well, the really cool thing about the Sun Devil Family Association is it's not just a scholarship, so they don't just say, okay, like here's money, like go have fun. You know, it's a community and it's a family, and the SDFA really has become like my second family. And so through going to community service events with my fellow scholars, I've built relationships with people that I would have never had the chance to make relationships with before, and all while giving back to the community. I think my favorite community service event was the St. Mary's Food Bank. We all got to go. There was like a huge group of us, like 50 of us, who went to St. Mary's Food Bank and packed boxes full of food to give to the local community and underprivileged families who couldn't afford to put food on their table. And that was so awesome just to see all of us together making a difference. And then I also got to attend the ASU Campaign 2020 kickoff event, and being able to see all of these people gathered in one place to donate money and to be so generous to continue funding higher education was incredible. And it really showed me that when you work hard, you can get to a position where you can give back. So that was awesome.
Yeah, in high school I was really involved in a lot of different, clubs and events. So coming to ASU, I really wanted that, that family-like, feeling and giving back to the community. So, as I received the scholarship, that was like the best transition I had coming from high school, because, with the scholarship, you get to do so many different events. Like, you meet so many different people, and my favorite event was probably, cleaning up a mountain. So it was a really, really fun event, and we also got to talk to all the different hikers that were up there, and they were asking what we were, so we got, the scholarship's name out there, and it was just a really nice event.
For me, just generally Thanksgiving dinner, it was really, really cool event, personally, because I know not many students have the chance to actually go back to the country or actually go back to visit their, their families, maybe out of states or maybe, out of country. So like you see a lot of students would be like staying at ASU for like Thanksgiving, and it's kind of like really cold day too. And so that day normally all of us just like standing around preparing food, like really hot of course. And then we're just like standing outside in a cold day, prepare tables and everything. And then you see a lot of like students who don't have a chance to go back to their country actually come and talk and communicate through the event. Is like amazing to see that. You don't normally see that.
Yeah.
You go to school and focus too much on that.
It was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, what are the support network that do you have or do you receive from this scholarship?
So through the SDFA scholarship, I was actually provided a mentor who has a career in the field that I'm interested in, and being able to connect with someone who is successful in my field was really awesome. They were able to provide me with really valuable advice and other networking opportunities and connections. And then another thing that the SDFA does that's really awesome, although I haven't personally used it, is our tutoring system. They have a private tutoring group just for us, and I know that if I ever was struggling in a class, or if I just needed some extra study time or help, I could go to our tutoring center, and that would be like a tool available to me.
Yeah, the mentoring program was a really good, way to transition, because my mentor also had, was also in engineering, so she recommended different, classes to take or different methods to use, to make sure that for my first year was really good.
Well, what are some of the challenges that you have? This one all of us should know.
As a junior, I think I've overcome a lot of obstacles, and then like something else comes up, and I'm like, oh crap. But I think one of the biggest hurdles was as a freshman, like initially getting over like my homesickness. Being from out of state was a little difficult, especially in the first few months, because A, it's so hot, and B, like it's just really hard to be away from your family. It's something that I had never experienced before because my family and I are really close. But I mean, through getting involved in other organizations and groups on campus, I really was able to adjust and feel like I was at home, and ASU does a fantastic job with making sure that you're doing okay, whether it's your RA checking in on you or your academic advisor checking in on you. So that was something that I overcame when I was a freshman. And then I think a constant hurdle that I'm always addressing is just paying for higher education in general. Whether it's getting a part-time job or applying for more scholarships or applying for loans. Paying for higher education isn't easy, especially coming from a single family household. But as long as I just continue to prioritize that, I know that I'll be okay. So that's probably my two biggest hurdles.
Yeah, it was many little hurdles, but as a first generation college student, that there's that big pressure of, the first one going to college. So, you want to succeed, and you want to, set that path very well for the rest of your siblings. So that was probably, one pressure that I had to deal with. Also, it was just that transition, because I had like a certain way of studying and a study pattern in high school, and I slowly, when I got to college, I realized that you can't use that same way. So, just be prepared, that, you won't always do very well. I know after my first calc exam, I was, a bit of a mess, but I realized that, you got to fix some things, work it out, and, you'll succeed.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest problem I think everyone will have to deal with is time management in general.
Time management, for sure.
Really is about, would you spend all your time on study, or will you just focus totally on part-time job, or focus on the sport on the other side? So it's like, how can I actually make the best out of college, but also don't really screw up your education at the same time? Because it's like, how can you do all these things all at once? Because it's like, I mean, who can resist sport in general, right?
Football games are definitely fun.
Yeah. So like now you have to deal with that, and you're like, oh, sweet. I have to deal with that, and then it's like, my exam is tomorrow. That's not good. But what are some of the tips that would you give your students, like your friends, the new coming freshmen?
Yeah. Something I would say for the incoming freshmen, maybe two things of advice would be to, when your teacher or your professor hands you your syllabus, keep it and make copies of it, hang it up in your dorm. Seriously, your syllabus is your best friend. College is a lot of being independent and figuring things out on your own. So you're not going to have, in high school, your teacher reminding you every class, your exam is on Friday and you have a paper due next week. In college, it's like, oh, did you check your syllabus? And you walk into class and you don't have your paper, and you're like, no, I didn't check my syllabus. So definitely keep millions of copies of your syllabus, because those deadlines will sneak up on you, and then it will really be a huge bummer when you miss an exam or you don't turn in a paper. And then my other bit of advice would be to make connections with your teachers or your professors. It is seriously so important to put a name to a face. And also, especially at the Cronkite School, we have some of the most incredible faculty that if I take the time to get to know them and build a relationship with them, that will only benefit me in the long run, because then it can turn into a letter of recommendation for a job, or it can turn into, hey, I know this person over at this news station who's looking for an intern. So definitely make as many connections with your professors as you can, because obviously they're in that position for a reason, so they're very knowledgeable and they can help you long-term and short-term as well.
Yeah, I know as an incoming freshman, your basic classes, there's probably a lot of people in them. So it can be a little bit intimidating to, walk up to your teacher and talk. Maybe there might be a line or, it's just a little bit intimidating. So I think, getting over that, fear and just talking to them, just making sure they know that you care is one of, big piece of advice I would give. Also, once you receive your syllabus, I would really recommend using some kind of a planner or a calendar and just write down all of your upcoming exams. Every single thing, write it down ahead of time, because you will slowly realize that you need to plan everything ahead of time. So that's the biggest piece of advice I can give.
Yeah,
Trust me,
definitely.
when I walk, one time I literally just walk into my class and I'm like, oh, there's an exam, literally, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is not good.
So I carry a small little planner, and I also have a bigger one in my room.
Yeah,
so,
I was really bad.
College kind of is overwhelming at times, and there's a lot going on, and you want to do everything, but you can't do everything. So when you're organized and when you have things planned out, it's a lot easier to make sure you're staying on top of it and you don't miss your math exam on Friday at 9 a.m.
Mhm.
Don't ever miss your exam because that result won't be too good for you.
I know the engineering school does this class that you have to take as an incoming freshman that helps you, have an easier transition. And so one of the little exercises that we did was you just get this whole a 24-hour sheet of your day, and you legit sat there and you just planned out this is how long I sleep, and this is how long I eat, and this is how long. So it might seem a little bit silly at the beginning, but it really, really makes a difference, to help with your time management.
You never be
I'm
too
so
organized.
bad at that, so I can't tell much about that. I mean, the reality is by the time I finish one homework and I'm like, oh, neat, 11 p.m. It's you're kind of squishing time around by that time already. So
Yeah.
I'm so bad at that.
How important do you guys think it is for parents to stay involved in their kids' education?
And it was, I think the best thing is just sometimes call them, or don't just pressure them generally, because a lot of time I know my parent will be calling me and making sure I have these done. It's pressuring me to make sure I'm doing all this when I'm overwhelming already.
Yeah.
With managing my time.
Yeah, I think just just getting a phone call from my mom asking how my exam was or anything like that, it just really changes everything. Just having someone to always talk to and constantly, wanting you to do very well in school is very important.
Yeah, I would agree. The relationship that I have with my parents is important, and them knowing that they support me in my education is really important to me. I know that if I had a bad day and I got not a good grade on my exam, I could call my mom or my dad and say, hey, I didn't do so well, and they can really talk me through it and give me some good advice and put things into perspective for me. And then also knowing that just having a support system in general to rely on when things get rough or when things are even going really good. I can call my mom and say, I just got an A+ on my exam, and that's really cool to have her be excited for me as well. So I think it's important to be involved, but like you said, not too involved.
Yeah.
There's a line you don't cross.
Line it's if they want to involve if there's an event at ASU, it would be really nice to have a parent to be by your side.
Yeah, Parents
talk.
Weekend, when we do Parents Weekend, I love when my family comes down for that, just because it's so great to see them, and then to also involve them with what I'm doing and to have them see where I go to school and my classes and stuff like that. So it's important to definitely be involved and enjoy the experience too. It's my mom says that she's going to college for a second time, so
That's totally feel supported.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so what's your favorite thing about ASU?
I don't want to sound cheesy, but there is a lot of things that I really enjoy about ASU. I think if I would have to pick one thing, it's that even though the campus is really big and there are multiple campuses, ASU does a really amazing job of making it feel not so big, and I have found the most incredible people here, the most incredible faculty here, and I do really feel like I'm at home, which is a great feeling to have. I love how ASU provides so many resources for you to be successful, and as long as you are willing to look for that help and then be receptive of that help, it's unreal the things that you can accomplish. I've done so much in my 3 years here that I never imagined would be possible. You know, if you would have told me 3 years ago that I'd be doing all these things, I would have told you were crazy. But ASU does such a great job of supporting their students and making it feel like you're not so overwhelmed, and that there really is a community here for you and a place where you fit in, and I just love that about ASU.
Yeah, I just love that you always feel like you have some kind of, you know, there's somewhere you can be and that there's something you can do. You know, it's just the tutoring centers are just amazing here. I mean, even if you don't want to go to the tutoring center and be physically there, there's also online tutoring centers that you can also use, which is like amazing. I mean, at any time of the day you can get help. So that's one of the most amazing things ASU has. Also, you know, just all the different, you know, clubs and ways you can make an impact in the community is also really nice.
I mean, link that to remember you guys talking about the intimidating if there's so many students. I mean, going to professor office hour, that's very important. Not only you connecting with the professor, but also like instead of like waiting for a long time, sometime in the tutoring center, you actually talk to the professor at the time, so like they would tell you, give you hints, and like right away, kind of.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of it's a hard choice to pick just one, and
Yeah.
I think the Sun Devil community is the best community, and I wouldn't want to go to school anywhere else.
So, I mean, yeah, for my other favorite thing at ASU is definitely just travel through campus. It was really fun. I mean, they provide free buses to communicate throughout all 4 campus, and for me, I love traveling, so like I literally sit on a bus and just travel 4 campuses. Like you got to see 4. It's still ASU. It still provide a lot of like resources, but like you got to see like 4 different environments.
Yeah.
From like different side in Phoenix. And
Yeah,
stuff.
they do a really good job of connecting all the campuses. I was a freshman and I lived at the downtown campus since I'm a journalism major, but I never felt like, oh, like I could only stay at the downtown campus. Like I was always down here on Fridays or Saturdays, you know, for football games, and it was really cool, you know, to pack the stadium and just to see all the kids from other campuses. And yeah, so they do, I agree, they do a really good job of just connecting everyone.
What's your favorite campus?
Oh gosh. I don't know if I could choose. I love my campus, the downtown campus, and I love the Tempe campus because I live here. So I don't know if I could pick.
Yeah, each one's like a different, it's like entering a different world, which I really like. Like it's just a different Tempe's more like, you know, it's bigger, there's so much like to do, there's so many people, and then you go like downtown or, you know, that's like a smaller community and it's like more close together. So I just think that it's very different.
What would you like? We have 4 different campuses, right?
Yeah.
Which word, you can only use one word, okay? Which word would you describe Tempe?
Big.
Yeah.
Really big.
Yeah.
What about you?
Large.
I guess humongous.
Definitely drink water if you're on the Tempe campus because it is a very large campus and walking in this heat is no joke. Heat exhaustion is very real, and you definitely don't want to be that person pass out on the sidewalk because you didn't drink water. So.
Any more questions, parents? Any questions so we can answer? No?
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm at a news desk.